Hi guys, so I am back with another paranormal type vlog, and this one is going to be the UFO one I was talking about in my last vlog. This one will be, I'll probably do a separate one with like other experiences, but this one will be the story of my most recent experience. And I have pie, Oreo anything is the best. So yeah, I might be snacking on that throughout this video. Sorry. I know that's really rude, but this is really good. It's been about a month or so ago now. Probably a little bit more than that. It's been a couple months, I think. It was one night, like where I live in an apartment complex, and I live at the very back side. I live in the back-facing apartment where I'm like facing a field, and there's not really any light pollution where I live because, I mean, we kind of live out in the country-ish. I mean, we live in town, but it's a small town, and like I said, we're facing a field, so it's not like there's a bunch of lights to where you can't see. And we have a balcony on our apartment. And me and my mom were standing outside on the balcony one night. Or actually, I was still in the house at this point. But she went outside because she was smoking a cigarette. And yes, she smokes. I don't like it, but whatever. She was outside smoking. And she like called me out there. She was like, come here, you gotta see this. And it was dark outside. It was nighttime. It was probably around 8 or 9 at night. And it was during the winter, so it gets dark earlier here. It gets dark about 5 or 6. I'm sure that's pretty much anywhere in the US, but whatever. It was dark. It was pitch dark. Well, when I walked out, because my mom called me out, when I walked outside, she told me to look up. She was like, look at this, you know, because she had saw it and been kind of watching it for a minute already. And she just didn't call me right out because that has happened a couple times, and then by the time I got outside it was gone, and she couldn't, I mean, I didn't see anything. But when I got out there, there was something really big in the sky. I don't know if anybody else besides me and my mom saw that night. The place we live in isn't exactly full of people who would actually come forward with something like that. There was something really big in the sky. It was kind of close down, and it was really big. It had really bright lights on it. My mom said before I came outside, like, she thought it, like, shined a light on her. She said she felt like it was shining at her. It wasn't a helicopter. It wasn't just an airplane. I know what those are like. It was bigger than that, and the lights that were on it were really bright. It was so much brighter than any plane or helicopter I've seen, okay? And it wasn't just like on the front or something. I mean, they were all over it. And it was making a humming sound, as per usual with most kind of like UFO experiences. There was a humming sound. It wasn't the blades of a helicopter. Again, I know what that sounds like. It wasn't a buzz, it was a hum. And that, I mean, we heard that the whole time that we were seeing this thing. The direction it was flying was kind of toward the house, like my house, like it was going this way. Like I said, it was flying this way, and then it suddenly starts to go this way. And it's not like it turned or anything. It didn't make a turn, or like a wide turn. It didn't turn, which that kind of was repetitive and annoying, but it did not, like, wasn't doing this and then, like, made a wide turn. It was doing like this, and then it's suddenly going this way, like, as if it's going sideways. And no plane that I know of can do that. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but whenever I have, like, the UFO experiences that I've had, when you have that kind of experience, there's this kind of feeling that you have. It's like a strange feeling, and I don't know if it comes from you're looking at something that you don't know what it is, or, I mean, if it's just, you know, like a vibe that, you know, you get because of what it may be. But I mean, it was a strange, I mean, it just kind of felt strange. Maybe it was like, actually kind of like an electric feeling, and I have heard that reported and in a couple of experiences that I've heard. And I mean, after it, I was kind of freaked out. As much as I love it, you know, when you experience something like that, it does kind of freak you out. And because you're just like completely stunned. But anyway, I'm bad at telling these stories because I've went off on so many tangents trying to tell the story. But while it's going like this, because of how we're standing and that we live on this side, like this side of the apartment, while it's going this way, it goes behind the edge of the roof, like the overhanging roof. And we're standing over here, and the stairs are not that far away. The time it takes us to get 5 feet over and down like 3 steps, not 3 flights of steps, like 3 steps, to where we can see over the roof, it's gone. I don't know where it went. There was no loud sound. There was no like crack or pop or anything. Whatever it was didn't go down or anything. It was just gone. We didn't see the lights anymore. We went on down the stairs, out into the yard, was looking around. It was gone. And something that big and that bright, it's not easy to just disappear like that. It wasn't behind the roof. Like I said, we went, like it wasn't behind the house. We went down and we're looking around. It's not that it was gone, like we just couldn't see it because the roof was blocking it. It was just gone. And I have no explanation for how that happened. As that happened, I mean, one of you may have an explanation, but I don't. Our modern aircraft does not behave like this aircraft did. If you want to give me different theories or whatever, you can go ahead, but it's not going to change what I believe because it's what I saw. And if you've had an experience like that, even if it's easily explainable, you know what you see and you know what you feel when you're seeing it. And also a couple more times that it wasn't here where I live now. It was a different place that I live, but it's only about 10 minutes that way. So it's kind of the same sky, which I guess technically anywhere you live is the same sky, but it's the same area anyway. It's only about 10 minutes that way. Several times then when I lived out there that we would see lights in the sky that we couldn't explain. Like they would just be, and usually they were green. They were usually green lights. It was normally like kind of a, not a trail, but it was like a line of 3 different lights, and they were green, and they're pretty big, pretty bright, and they would just be flashing in an area, and then they'd be gone. I don't know where they'd go. We wouldn't see them anywhere else. And again, where I lived there was out in the country, out in a rural area. So it's not like it was like any kind of light pollution or anything. The street light that we had there didn't even work. The only lights we had were our porch lights. And I don't recall any of them being on. And anyway, they weren't green, they didn't flash, and they weren't up in the sky. So, and this happened on several different occasions. Sometimes just my mom saw it, sometimes it was both of us, because sometimes she'd be outside smoking and she saw it, and by the time I got out there it was gone. Sometimes I'd be standing out there with her and we'd see it. And it happened on a couple of occasions. It was just this line of lights. It was at different places in the sky. Just a line of green lights blinking, and then they were gone. I mean, my stories of my experiences may not be all that fascinating to some of you. To some of you, it may be like the ones you've had. I don't know, but I wanted to share them anyway because, you know, I'd like to hear more people's. And like I've talked about, I've come onto YouTube and come online multiple times looking for videos on this kind of thing, and I can't find any, or very many, that I haven't seen or anything, so I want to put mine out there, maybe inspire a couple more people to do it. I should probably actually eat real food, but this pie is really good. It's real food, right? It's really good. Choke. And also my other main experience. This one has been quite a few years ago, so it's not heavy on the details. Me, my sister, my brother, his ex-wife, her ex-boyfriend, and my cousin were all out. We were out on some of the land that my grandparents own, and like right out by where we lived, and we were riding four-wheelers, and we were just hanging out. You know, if you're from the country night, you know what you do. You just go ride around and have fun and talk. Well, we parked over by the creek and part of this particular land, and we were just sitting there talking. Well, I don't remember which one of us looked up and saw it, but one of us like looked up and we saw something flying in the sky. And this one is actually kind of similar to my other main one that I've had. The stories that I've heard growing up of like relatives, my dad, my grandparents, my cousins, uncles having experiences of like Bigfoot or spirits or something. A lot of them happen in this particular plot of land. So it's just one of those areas that are kind of, I guess, a hot spot for paranormal activity, for whatever reason. And this is where that was. And I mean, it was a strange feeling as it was, because whenever you went to this particular place, it would feel like you were being watched. Like and a lot of people have talked about it. You feel like you're being watched, and especially at night, it's just kind of a place you don't want to be at night. And well, we were there. I mean, there was a bunch of us. We were just trying to have fun. And so we watched it for a little while. It was just kind of fun. Kind of freaked out. I don't know if anybody else would admit it by this point, but we were all a little bit freaked out. And, I mean, just watching it. I mean, we've been telling each other weird stories anyway. And about this, it was not just because it was flying or whatever. I don't remember a noise. I don't remember it having any sound. All I remember is just the crickets and stuff chirping around us that I could hear then. Because while we had been riding four-wheelers, we were just sitting on the four-wheelers. We had them turned off, and we were just sitting there talking. I don't remember a sound, but we sat there and watched it for probably a good 20 minutes. Just flying in the sky. It was actually flying pretty slow, if I recall. And like I said, it was red and white lights kind of surrounding it. From me looking up, how I was looking up, it was flying this way. And it's flying this way. It made a really sharp, like hairpin type turn. It just like made a complete like a complete 360 and started flying back this way. I mean, like, it was doing like this. And, I mean, maybe there are, but I'm not sure of any aircraft, especially at that time, because like I said, this was several years ago, that could do that and would be somewhere around where I'm at. And my older cousin, my older brother, all them were like, I don't think that was a plane. A crappy story. There's, like I said, there's not all that much detail on that one because it's been a while. And like UFO hunting one day, like, any of y'all want to come with me? I'd love to visit some of the like hot spots and hubs where a lot of sightings have happened and see what can happen, see what can go on, see what I can see what we can see. Had any kind of experiences like with UFOs or, you know, paranormal things, but UFOs for this particular video. Please let me know. Like, make a video or message me if you don't want everybody else to see, or write it in the comments, because I'd really, really like to know. things can be difficult to get people to talk about because they're scared of ridicule and stuff. I mean, it kind of takes a little bit of bravery to go on the internet and talk about it, or, I mean, to talk about it around people, because if you have any experiences, please let me know. If you want to hear more experiences of paranormal things, maybe not exactly UFO, because I just told you my main stories. If you have any interesting stories of like local legends around where you live or where you're from, whatever, please also let me know. I'd love to know. And I hope y'all have a great day. I'm gonna enjoy my pie, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. It may not be watching. Please subscribe if you'd like, and like, comment, all that jazz. You know what to do. Love you guys. Bye. We gonna have to cut that part out. Excuse me. And I just did the stupidest thing. I do it all the time. I don't know how. But I was trying to get a piece of pie, and my fork slipped, and I punched my pie. Come on. It's really good that when you punch it. Whatever. But I don't know.